Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to be showing my prediction of what the 2020 Senate races will look like. So I'm going to fill out the safe states first for the Republicans and Democrats. Okay. And now Democrats. Wait, I forgot to fill in last. Democrats. I would say New Mexico is safe. It depends on who the Republican candidate is, but I'd say it's safe for now. Now I'm going to go through the likely states for each party. So starting off with Montana for the Republicans. It depends on who the Democratic nominee. If the current Democratic governor of Montana runs, then I'd say that there is a chance. But if he doesn't run for Senate, then I'm actually going to put this in the safe column because I don't think he's going to run for Senate. Anyways, on to Texas. The current senator here that was up for re-election is, he has a good approval rating. It's not like Ted Cruz's. I would say if Democrats can pick a good enough candidate and they get lucky, they might be able to pull off a win here, but it's unlikely. Oh wait, I'm still doing likely. For Republicans, Kentucky, the only reason it's likely is because Mitch McConnell is so unpopular here. He has I think it's a 30% approval rating and like a 52% disapproval rating. It's pretty bad, but I still don't think that that's enough to make Kentucky a Democratic win. That's all the likely states for Republicans. Likely states for the Democrats is Colorado. Colorado has been increasingly more Democratic over the years for like a decade. And the Democrats have done really well. In 2018, they picked up the House seat. They kept the governorship. There was no Senate race there. But just overall, it's been a more democratic state. To Minnesota, it's been closer than usual. It's usually a Democratic state, but in 2016 it got really close. Trump almost carried it, but he didn't. And it just has a really Democratic past, and I think Trump he did really well in the Rust Belt in 2016, but I don't think that's going to carry over in 2020 because he hasn't really been bringing that many jobs back to this area, and his approval ratings in the entire Rust Belt, except for Indiana, if you consider that in the Rust Belt, is pretty bad. They're all in the negatives for net approval rating. Michigan is, for some of the similar reasons for Minnesota, Trump carried it in 2016, but Democrats did really well in 2018. They kept their Senate seat by like 8%, and they picked up the governorship by I think 12%, maybe less, I'm not exactly sure. But it is more of a Democratic state. Trump just did it for like a one-time shot. One-time thing, just kind of like North Carolina for Obama. I don't really feel like it's going to happen in 2020, but it could be a Republican. Republicans could win it, but I'd say it's unlikely. To Virginia, it's a likely Democratic state. I would say it would be safe if Republicans don't have a good candidate. But Virginia's been an increasingly Democratic state. It hasn't gone to a Republican since 2004, so it's been wow. It's been 16 years. Wait, no, I can't do math. It's been 15 years. What am I thinking? Alright, it's been 15 years. To North Carolina, I think Democrats would barely pull it off by like a 1 to 2% margin. I think it's because North Carolina has a history of them usually, like every election season on this Senate map, they usually always flip. Like, whoever the current senator is usually flips. It's kind of weird. And also, I feel like, well, in North Carolina, Donald Trump's approval rating is negative. By net, approval rating is -3. Also, I think that if Democrats have a good nominee, then they could pull it off if the nominee can appeal to enough people. Onto the lean states, onto the likely states for Republican. I'm just not going to do likely or leaning states for each party at this point. I'm just going to fill them out. New Hampshire, I think it's going to be leaning for the Democrats because it's been more of a Democratic state throughout, like, for the past 2 years. Republicans didn't really do well here at all in the midterms. And in 2016, Donald Trump lost to Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton was not a good candidate. For Georgia, it's a lean Republican state. Georgia, it used to be safe Republican, but it's becoming more of a purple state. And Democrats almost won in 2018, but they didn't. They didn't win. They got close, but they didn't win. So, I feel like this is too early to give it to the Democrats. Maybe in 2024 it could be more in play, but I don't think in 2020 it really could go to Democrats. For Maine, I think Susan Collins' approval rating, a new poll just recently came out, and it's not doing well at all. Ever since she voted in Kavanaugh, people have not been liking her. It used to be, it was, 53% approval rating, and a 25% disapproval, but now it's up to a 49% disapproval and I think it's a 30 approval. I'm not exactly sure. Iowa, Trump's approval rating here is really bad. I think it's -10. Yeah, it's -10. Net approval rating is -10. And Democrats have just been doing really well. They almost picked up the governorship, but they didn't. But they picked up 2 House seats, and there was no Senate seat in the midterms. But they've just been doing pretty well here. Arizona, I think that could narrowly go to the Democrats. It's probably the closest out of any of these. I think that it's been more increasingly Democratic, and the fact that a Democrat just won a statewide race there in 2018 is really good for the Democrats, and I would say they could narrowly pull it off, but if I'm talking realistically, I would say that it would go to the Republicans, because it has a history of being a Republican state, and I would say it would be the closest, and I definitely, basically 50-50, but it's barely, I would say it would barely go to the Republicans if I had to choose. So this is my 2020 Senate prediction on the 21st of January, 2019. This is basically going to be pretty far off of what it is, I'm assuming, because there's not that many polls for most of the states, but anyways, I hope you guys liked this, and if you have any comments, just comment them below. If you have any suggestions, comment them below. And if you guys have any idea of what I should use to record my screen, please tell me, because I do not like what I'm using right now, but it's all I could find. It doesn't cost money, so yeah. Goodbye.